Hey everybody, I want to take a second to talk to you about the Manatraders series. Manatraders is now sponsoring the channel, RW Hobbies, or RW Makes Magic, helping me get all the decks I need to make the videos that everybody wants to watch, so really appreciate that. But another big thing that's awesome about this is I get to play in the Manatraders series, which is an awesome series. Best prizes online at the moment. 15,000 monthly payout. That's to all their players. Free entry. It's open to all, even non-Manatraders users, but the Manatraders users, like people subscribe, get 10x prize multiplier, so you get a lot more prizes if you're subscribed. And honestly, it's really hard to play Magic Online nowadays without Manatraders. I was one of the lucky few who could keep doing it because I had a large collection from before they started, but there's not very many people like me left that just have an old collection on Magic Online, and honestly, even with that old collection, it was still really hard for me to change decks and keep trying out new things. And now that I have, Manatraders back, I feel like I'm gonna be able to do a lot more videos, do a lot more with the thing. And honestly, I don't think you can get into Magic Online without using it nowadays. I think it's just a must-use. And if you want to get subscribed to Manatraders, you can help out the channel by using code A22EN when you subscribe. You get 15% off, be eligible to play in all these series. Even get to battle against me on there. So, should be a lot of fun. And remember, I'm going to let you get to the content now, but remember, if you would subscribe, it would really help the channel. So, thanks everybody for that. And with that, we'll talk to you next time. Welcome everybody to another episode of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today we are playing some Jeskai Cycling. That's right, I said Jeskai, not red-white. We're actually playing Jeskai Cycling, and I've heard a lot of talk about rogues. I've heard a lot of talk about Yorion decks. I have heard talk of some adventures, maybe black-green, maybe Teamer. I've heard some talk about ramp. I have not heard the people talking about cycling. They forgot about my deck. I love this deck. Now, if you guys watched during the Omnath time period, I tried playing this deck a lot, and it wasn't very good. In fact, if we're being honest, it just really wasn't. It wasn't good at all. It just wasn't good. But I kept trying. I kept trying to make Riel work, and Riel didn't work. Riel never worked. But it's time now. We're gonna play some Jeskai Cycling, and I think I've got a sick list for the format right now. So, pretty standard. You got your Flourishing Foxes, your Draina Stingers, and your Valiant Rescuers. They generate giant bodies, many bodies, or straight up damage. We've got Zenith Flare as the entire reason to play Cycling. This card is really absurd if you're taking the time to enable it. It's like a 10-point burn spell, 15. It just kills people. It kills creatures. It even gains life. I don't know why it gains life, but it does. And then we have 20 Cyclers. Now, all these creatures also have Cycling, but we have 21 mana Cyclers. And I am playing 4 Riel the Everwise. That's right, we mean it today. 4 of these. Riel says whenever you it gets +1/+1 over each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. Okay, fine. And it says whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. So, what happens is you cycle on your turn, you draw 2. Then you pass, you cycle on their turn, you draw 2. And when you're cycling cards, draw 2 cards instead of 1 cards, things get really absurd. Your hand gets gigantic. It's really easy to find your Zenith Flares. It's really easy to fill up your graveyard with Cyclers. And it's not crazy that these start doing 10, 15 damage, 20 even. And it's a really good way to just kind of really out-resource your opponents. You get a Riel going, you start hitting your land drops, you keep cycling, then you get a Valiant Rescuer in play, then you get a Draina Stinger, and all of a sudden, each card you cycle is just doing absurd things. It's like you pay 1 mana, draw 2 cards, make a 1/1, put a +1/+1 counter, deal a damage to your opponent, and sometimes they're making 2 1/1s. Like, it just gets really crazy. The problem with the deck like this is you are very prone to flooding, and Shadow Skull Smashing and Amaria's Call are going to fix that for us. Outside of those cards, we are playing 15 lands. That's right, exactly 15 lands. And then we have 5 more untapped red and white lands because this deck is just mostly red and white. I do have a blue pip and I can cast Riel, but it's mostly red and white. And so we have these cards to make sure that we have the colors we need, but also have spells late game. And 7 mana in a deck with 15 actual lands seems kind of crazy. But I would not be shocked if we cast this today. I have, in fact, already cast it a few times testing this deck out. I think it's a very good aspect of the deck to have. And Shadow Skull Smashing, I think, is worse. It's hard to get up to enough mana where you get to do the 6, and when you're not doing the 6, it's kind of medium, but it can still be really good. There are spots where it's really good. You can blow out rogues pretty nicely sometimes. So, nice effect to have access to. Don't mind paying the extra 3 life to have it untapped. Although, if you told me I should have like one of these in a second mountain, I could believe it. We're going to try 5 of these today. Try and make sure that when we are flooding out that we have spells to cast still. In the sideboard, we have 3 Mystical Disputes and 3 Negates. When you play against these Yorion piles and these bigger decks, it's really nice to just turn into a fish deck, cycle a little bit, find your counter spells, counter their big plays, and then kill them with your little plays. We've got Thundering Rebuke for other creature decks. Improbable Alliance for, again, decks that have a lot of removal. It's just nice to have a resilient threat to put into play there. We've got Ironcrag Pyromancer. It's kind of a package, like against decks with a bunch of creatures. We're going to board in our Ironcrags and our Thundering Rebukes to be able to kill the creatures. And then against rogues, we're already pretty good against getting milled. Incidentally, this one's milling us. Our Zenith Flayers get really huge, like any Zenith Flayer's lethal. But we still have 2 Ox of Agonuses. Very cheap escape. Exiling 8 cards is a lot. And you don't really want to be exiling cards with cycling because of Zenith Flayer. But when you're getting milled, Ox is just such a good one to hit. They're fueling the 8 cards. You're not like all in on it, but they are fueling the 8 cards. And then it's only 2 mana and it's a draw 3. And you don't mind discarding your hand a lot of times in this deck. In fact, mostly you just want to be filling your graveyard anyway. So the discard your hand and draw 3 is mostly just gas. So I think this card's going to be very good. And let's get to some battling. Alright, here for round 1. We have all our colors, kind of. But it's not clear if we need this to be blue or red. I still think this stands a keep. Hands that have turn 1 Flourishing Fox and a Cycler are very good. And we have a Riel and a Zenith Flare. It might look awkward to have 2 Riels, but when you're playing this deck, you're going to find that if Riel sticks around, you just win. So, don't mind having an extra copy. I'm going to keep this. We'll see where it goes. Would really like to draw either a blue or a red land before playing this, if I have any option. Ooh, Edgewall could be tough. Could be tough. Let's get Mr. Fox out there. There's actually a chance I was supposed to save the Fox. It's pretty unlikely. Ooh. Not like this. Ugh, Fox got crushed. You hate to see it. Alright, well. Yeah, I mean, not ideal, necessarily, but fine. The question is, do I want to cycle? I probably will end up cycling both of these. I would like to find another cycler, but I just have to have one cycler in my top 4, and then Riel starts going kind of crazy. I do need to turn the Zenith Flare on. That's going to be important. I imagine their turn will consist mostly of just playing Bone Crusher, and then at least when Riel gets in play, I'll have 2 more instant sorceries in my graveyard, so I'll be able to block. Should be pretty good. Ooh, Skoos. I don't like that. That is not good for me. I'm kind of hoping they missed their land here, honestly. They did not. Fair enough. Still going to put Riel in play. It's not clear they're going to be very good at killing this. And sure, they can turn off some of the stuff with Skoos, but Skoos isn't actually that good at stopping this deck. It does something, certainly, but it's not great, and I probably will just kill it with the first Zenith Flare. We'll see where that goes. Ooh, a Mammoth. Do they have a land? It would be very weird to me to have played Edgewall if you didn't have land. Or to not have played that one if you didn't have land. Definitely interesting. Let's start with a Frostveil Ambush. Okay. Stinger's not bad. Do white. Okay, so this turn, there's a decent chance I trade Riel with something. I probably am not going to get a chance to do it with Skoos, although maybe. And I probably will be blocking the Mammoth. I do feel like I kind of need to protect my life total at this point. So opponent could eat 2 things. Riel's not going to be able to trade. I think I'm just blocking here. I will go ahead and cycle. The 1 damage might matter. Ooh, the Great Henge. That one's kind of annoying. Alright, we are now at a point where I can actually kill this Scavenging Ooze, which I think is going to be key to being in this game, because I don't think I can really win a game that continues down this path. This combo is going to value me out, and I need to start making these lethal. This is their life gain option that also powers these down. I got to get rid of the Skoos. They can shrink it by 2 currently, but it's not going to stop it from killing it. Oh no. Oh no. No, okay. Alright, I was right. I knew that was hairy, but we weren't quite dead, so we're alright. Can I attack here? Interesting. I probably shouldn't attack. I, in fact, should probably trade here if I have a shot. I'm not going to attack. Although, if the Skoos hadn't eaten some of my cycling cards, I think considering an attack there is worth it, but I think we're a little too far away. I need to extend this game to really get these going. We're kind of at a spot where we just cannot run out of resources. Riel is doing a lot of work here. Oh, I'm not going to be able to block here either. And I died to an Ember Cleave. Can I ever play around it? I think I'm just always dead to Ember Cleave here. Okay, so playing that first, they could still have a Cleave. It wouldn't be great for me. I think I'm supposed to just accept that I'm always dead to Ember Cleave here, though. So, oh, they don't have Cleave. Okay. So we get to keep playing, which is pretty nice. I cannot block there. Okay. Fox is going to be good. It's going to help me get out of range of these creatures, get a presence in play. Ooh, Shatter Skull's actually going to be quite good here as well. So we can use it to kill some of the bigger stuff next turn. Again, still going to have a really hard time here. This value engine's a lot. Yikes. Oh, that's probably too much. Yeah, I think this just kills me, sadly. The hasty landfall threat, I think, is too much. So, yeah, even if I block the 3 biggest things, I still take exactly 8. Alright, they got me. Frustrating, but fair. They got me. Alright, we do get to bring in our anti-creature package, though, which is going to be very nice. I think the Draenei Stinger is very, very bad in this matchup. Let's get the Stinger out. I like to go down to 3 Riel when I bring in the Iron Crags. I think there's a chance I should consider Improbable Alliance. Especially, I think the first 2 are going to be better than these, just because Bone Crusher Giant doesn't kill this, where it does that one. So I think that's a good place to look. But yeah, being on the draw, letting them have the removal spell, all tough. This hand's not bad if I find a second land. In fact, it's good if I find a second land. I do have a Rebuke to kill their first play. I'm decently likely to find a second land. I think I can just do better, though. And this hand's going to be... Yeah, this hand is much better. Well, maybe not much better, but it is better. Certainly better. I really hate running the Valiant Rescuer into a Bone Crusher and getting no value. But it also gives them a turn to, like, deploy a Scavenging Ooze, which I kind of hate. Alright, I'm going to play it. This is going to get Bone Crushed and I'm going to be sad, but... The upside here is that if it doesn't get Bone Crushed, I think I win, like, on the spot. Not on the spot, but... Oh, Thundering Rebuke. Okay, better than getting Bone Crushed, at least. Not going to say it's great, but it's better than getting Bone Crushed, certainly. I guess I cycled the first one. Let's see if I hit a Fox. I did not, and probably going to save this one to cycle. Mammoth. Can I draw my Pyro Man? I cannot. I will kill this Mammoth, though. I actually think there's a consideration to just play the Triome. Yeah, I think I'm going to play it. Alright, kind of wish I hadn't played it now. And very much wish I hadn't played it now. The thing is that we only have 15 actual lands, so, like, it's pretty unlikely that we draw 3 straight lands with 4 already in play. I mean, we're only drawing to 11 lands in a 48-card deck. But it happens sometimes. It's going to happen, so here we are. Ugh. Shatter Skull Smasher one time, please. Do you have another edge wall? Oh, the Love Struck. Fair. Okay, now Shatter Skull Smashing. Oh, Valiant Rescuer. This is so likely to get killed. Is it even better than just cycling it? I'm going to hold it. It's just way too likely to get killed here. It feels like I'm also getting Ember Cleaved here based on how they tapped, which is going to be really bad for me. Yeah. Shocker. I got Ember Cleaved. I think this probably kills me. I don't have outs at this point in the game. Zenith Flare maybe. Probably still no. I do think I need to cycle this. It's just not ever beating an Ember Cleave. Probably need to cycle this as well. Does that do anything? I can cast the Amaria's Call. Does it save me, though? No, it doesn't. I need a Zenith Flare. Zenith Flare would be very large. I think it would save me. Let's cycle. Right on time. Alright, I'm actually dead now. Alright, so we got kind of smashed by the Embercleave deck. That's fine. We really want to be beating these Yorion decks, and I do feel like cycling beats the crap out of Yorion. So we'll see what happens, but this hand's great. No, I wanted to play it, not cycle it. No. Gosh darn it. Well, that's not ideal. Alright, but we have been delivered with excess foxes. It's a gift. Very foxed up. Alright, we have been glass casketed. We have all of the football critters. Alright. So, I really wish I had played a Flourishing Fox on turn 1, I'm not going to lie. We did not, but here we are. And Yorion takes some turns doing this stuff, where they just kind of spin their wheels and don't really do anything that matters for a little bit. Nope, I want to do it like this. And all of a sudden, opponents at 7 or 5 and dead to a Zenith Flare. So, there you go. We have the mana to cast the Zenith Flare. They die to it. They have to cast Shatter the Sky this turn, almost certainly. And if they don't have it, they're pretty much just dead. Fire Prophecy. Interesting. So if they didn't have Shatter last turn, they probably don't have Shatter this turn, for being honest. And given that's the case, let's cycle. So making a board presence. If they have a Shatter, it's going to go bad for me. But again, they're dead to a Zenith Flare, really at any point here. And watching this game, you can really see what I mean by wanting to have Riel in this deck. Because you get to these points where you're just kind of out of gas. You've played all your stuff. They've traded with your creatures. You cycle a ton of things, but then you flood out because the lands don't cycle anymore. This happens some amount of time with this deck, and this is why I like having the Riels so much, because you just don't run out of gas. Now, that said, opponent just never had the thing they needed, so they're dead. And we get to board in a bunch of great stuff against them. I'm going to cut the Flourishing Foxes. I don't think they do very much. And the Draenus Stingers against decks like this. And be happy. Alright, this hand's a little slow, but it's got a Mystical Dispute. It's got a Riel. I think it's a keep. Post-board, we're very heavily a blue-red deck. We have very little white. It's mostly just Valiant Rescuer. Oh, I'm still going to play this land, though. Come on, just get my lands building. I would dispute a good 3-drop here if they played one. I don't even know what that would be, but if they play like a Jace, for instance, or something along those lines, I would dispute that. And you're also going to see I am not going to play Riel on turn 3. I'm not running it into a counterspell. I have a Mystical Dispute. I'd like to play Riel with 1 mana up, and that's what we're going to do. In fact, I think we're going to do this. Get this nice little Improbable Alliance in play here. I imagine they count. No, didn't counter that. Interesting. All right, let's cycle this Footfall Crater then. Fire Prophecy on my 1/1? Yikes, that ain't it. I don't know what it is, but that is not it. Alright, play this on red. I still don't really even want to play Riel here, honestly. It's not bad, though. Yeah, I am going to play Riel, actually. If they have, like... Oh, they didn't have it. Alright, well, now we can just pass. The idea is to leave Dispute up. It's nice. Oh, well, I don't get to do anything with that. That's fine. It's nice that cycling this triggers this. Like, you know, their turn, I mean. Obviously, it triggers it on my turn, but... Oh, opponent missed their land drop. It's good for us. I'm going to put this in play. Play a Valiant Rescuer. Cycle this Startling Development. Make some guys. Oh, that's a Zenith Flare. That's pretty nice. And now I got a very wide board going here. Still 5 cards in hand. In fact, we have the same number of cards as our opponent. Omen of the Sun is just fine. That is not a card we care about at all. Okay, Transmogrify is a little scary. That is one we maybe should have thought about more. Alright, the flooding here is pretty real. All that said, I can Zenith Flare the Trawler on this turn. And this is going to start getting out of control here. I still think I need to block. I'm going to block with my life total. Put Yorion in hand, huh? Alright. Starting to flood a touch, but it's okay. It looks crazy, but we will actually be able to race this Dream Trawler, despite it looking like there's no chance. We are going to get to tap it at some point. They're going to have to discard a card to tap it. And when that happens, we should be mostly good. I think I'm supposed to make this a 4/4 and save it. Got him! Oh, it's so wonderful. They do get to cycle a card out of their hand. They do get to do that. Still gonna no blocks. We were actually doing a somewhat decent job racing. No, I want to counter that one. Ooh, Boone is, like, just very, very good. The question is, do I jam with the Valiant? Don't think I do. And we're actually going to get to hardcast Boone here, which is kind of sick. Casual draw 4. Alright. Not as good as I would have hoped, but we do have opponent dead next turn. Even if they gain 5, I can 22 them. If they like tap out to do something Yorion related, they are very dead. Transmogrify, huh? Alright, so we made another Dream Trawler, and they are just dead. Well, it's a shame. Flare you. Flare you. GG's. Oh, man. That's what it's supposed to look like right there. That's what it's supposed to look like. I will admit this deck can have trouble with decks that are very aggressive. It's a little slow. It spins its wheels a bunch. And decks that are aggressive and have good removal spells against the cheap plays can be tough. But it's tough for decks that are trying to interact with it outside of just cheap removal spells and big creatures. Like, Gruul is kind of the nightmare matchup. Ramp, just not interacting with it at all and just going way over the top also is good against this kind of strategy. But against decks like that, they are just going to struggle so much with this deck. I think this is a keep. This hand looks pretty good. Interesting when I lead on here. I think Shadow. So I think what's going to happen is all of these lands get played. I do think I want to actually pay 3 life. I want to get the cycling started so that I can find a blue source for Riel. What's opponent getting here? Got an island. Fair enough. Could be a lot of things. Could be ramp. Could be rogues. I'm going to put this Valiant Rescuer in play. If it's ramp, that's by far the best thing I can do. If it's rogues, they'll probably just Heartless Act it, and I'm going to be sad. Looks like it's rogues. My Valiant Rescuer is getting Heartless Acted, and I'm sad. Tough. Tough spot. Now, if I had a blue source to follow this up, I'd feel really good about my spot. Given that I don't, not feeling great necessarily. So I have 2 white sources, so this should be red, I guess. Golden Egg. Oh, this is like a Doom Foretold deck. Interesting. Not what I thought at all. Well, if I find a blue source, I'm going to be in a really good spot. The deck is short on blue sources, but you cycle so much, you tend to find one. There we go. Treacherous Blessing. That's a lot of cards. In fact, I think opponent's going to play their land and then discard to hand size here. Alright. If they have a Mystical Dispute, I'm going to be not happy about this. Okay, doesn't look like they do. Let's start with a Gopher Blood. Alright, time to shock this in. I will cycle my Fox. I'm definitely not playing a Fox here. Alright, now we have multiple Zenith Flares, and they both do 8, which is kind of close to lethal, honestly. I'm going to play a Triome. So maybe I'm supposed to play the Shatter Skull and save the Triome. I'm going to cycle this Triome, though. Okay, wish I had started with that, but we didn't. Here we are. So I am just going to start casting Amarios Calls next turn. I think we're far enough ahead that it's going to be fine. I'm going to discard the Shatter Skull. I don't need it. Oh, now we have a lot of Zenith Flares. So probably do still want blue. Let's make some 4/4s. So opponent's in a tough spot now. They kind of need to deal with these 4/4s at like right now, or they're dead to my Zenith Flares. And if they like, I have 27 points of burn in my hand. Okay. The sky is shattered. I mean, yeah, let's do it again. If one was good, two is better. I'd rather have white or red. I'm even on them. Sure, we'll play red. Treacherous Blessing. That is a tough way to go about this. I do actually kind of feel for the opponent. They have drawn a million cards and found almost no lands at all. Okay, Bloodchief's Thirst is good. Sadly, the opponent is actually just dead. Especially if I draw land. We did. Cycle. That's all four. Four of a kind? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Good night. Good night. Nice. Alright, so I like these negates. I wonder if I'm supposed to bring in the Ox. Ox seems somewhat interesting to me. I don't love it, though. I think I'm just going to bring in, like, 2 disputes. This does not seem like a good Flourishing Fox matchup. I, in fact, also don't really like the Stinger. It's, like, okay. I'd rather have this guy, and I'll bring the other dispute back in, sure. Alright. Feeling pretty good about it. This hand has 1 land. I'm on the draw. It's got a negate. It's got a threat. I think this is a keep. It looks kind of awkward, but I think we'll hit our lands. This deck usually does. We got 3 looks at a second one, which statistically you should hit. 4 looks at a second one, excuse me. And perfect. So this is definitely going to be red instead of white. But I could just play this tapped. I don't really want to do that, though. I'm going to play this and probably cycle Go for Blood on the opponent's turn. Yep, let's cycle this one. Perfect. Ooh, that's not actually bad. It's not great here necessarily, but it's not bad. I was really hoping that one would live. Did not, sadly. So untap blue here would be excellent. We unfortunately don't find it, but we have blue mana now. So we'll be able to use negate going forward. If opponent gets off a Doomford Jolt here, that's not great for us, but it's also not the end of the world. It's something we can certainly play through. And it looks like that's where they're going. Putting something in play at the very least. No, just passing it looks like. Okay. Well, I'm going to cycle some of these bad... Yeah, autopay. I'm going to cycle some of these bad cards I don't really want. Just get them... Yeah, just start powering up future Zenith Flares. It's kind of the game plan when you get in these, like, they killed your early play spots. I don't think I need to shock, but also I don't think the opponent really punishes me all that much for shocking, so I'd rather just have the mana just to be able to continue cycling and get this bigger. I also really just want to find a Riel here. Okay, Omen's fine. So Yorion here would be a little annoying. It feels like they might have it. I think I will cycle 3 times to look for a Mystical Dispute if I can. Mystical Dispute. Baby. Alright, we need the 3rd white anyway. I'm going to put this in a play tapped. Starting to kind of flood. Asbestos Nightmare doesn't really kill anything, but I think it's worth a counter anyway. It's going to duress and exile my graveyard. I don't really want to see my graveyard exiled. Ooh, they hit a negate too. That's tough. Gonna need to hit the Zenith Flare soon, I guess. Real shame. Real shame. I guess I just do it now. I'm losing one of these cards from my hand next turn anyway. Kind of interesting to see which one they go with. Would have loved to have spent that turn casting Boon of the Wishgiver instead of what I did do, but they might not have an answer to Amaria's Call, so they might need to take that one, and if that's the case, I get to slam a Boon. It's also kind of scary because this could mean that they have a Mystical Dispute, but it is what it is. I can always cycle this too if I'm that scared of a Mystical Dispute. Okay, so no Mystical Dispute. Interesting. So I do get to do the reload thing. I guess if they play a blue source, I should be scared of a negate or a Mystical Dispute, but it's not clear they have that. Okay, they did have it, but all is fine. Alright. Okay, so that Zenith Flare is awkward. Ooh, that was nice. I'm probably at a spot where I need to save Ralgren just to cycle. I guess maybe I was supposed to Zenith Flare there. I think it's okay not to, though. Ooh, that's a big Urian. Opponent's going to get a lot of value here. Oh my gosh. So much value. Alright, let's start with this. And then this. And then we can get the cycle train a-rolling. Ooh, Negate was actually a pretty good draw. The question is, do I want to play this Triome? I still think I don't. I still think I'd rather have the ability to counter a sweeper here or something. Opponent's hand is absolutely loaded, so it's not super likely that this is going to resolve, but... yeah, I mean... How much do I care about this, though, really? Honestly, I don't know that I do. I think it's fine. Famous last words, but we're kind of getting close to being able to get the opponent here, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. I get another token if I draw, and making flyers is better than 1/1s, even though this is slightly better. I'm going to sack this one. Still don't have a great attack here. There's another Omen of the Sea. How much do I care about the Nightmare? I think I can negate it. Getting my graveyard, I think, is going to cut off all of my outs. Okay, opponent just has another negate. Perfect. And then we don't get the second draw. We're going to lose the Improbable Alliance, which is pretty unfortunate. Okay, Shatter Skull Smashing kills Yorion. I still think I'm better off casting this. I imagine they have a third negate here. But here we are. No, they didn't. Interesting. Mostly a free attack. Yeah, the Zenith Flare thing just isn't going to do anything ever. They kind of are supposed to take it because I could just kill Yorion next turn with it. And it could have killed Yorion, but I kind of wanted to... I mean, I'm going to end up discarding this, so it's actually kind of... yeah, not great. How many Boon of the Wish Givers have I seen? Is it really just one? It was just one. Ooh, they cast a Shatter the Sky too? That's interesting. And a Tormod's Crypt. Okay. Another Doom Foretold. Alright. Is there a reason to cycle, or do I just let both of these pop? Probably not really a reason to cycle. These aren't particularly good cards. I'm fine losing them. And we drew land, which is basically exactly what we wanted to draw there. That was sarcastic, for the record. This matchup is going to be tough if you don't see a Riel in your top 30 cards. We have 4, and we didn't see one in our top 25, in fact. It only has 23 cards left in their library. Alright, I'm dead. Opponent has 7 cards in hand. I'm going to lose this game. It's alright. Opponent had a good draw there. They got us. I'm actually very tempted to cut some of these Zenith Flares, just given how much graveyard hate the opponent has. They have Elspeth's Nightmare, and they brought in Tormod's Crypt against me. I really just think I just don't need these, and I should just go, you know, more value cards. I don't think the burn spells are great. I kind of want to just play to the board. I'm going to bring the Foxes back in on the play. Just go all play to the board, just bash. Having no reach is a little loose, but I think it's going to be okay. And this hand, I won't say it's great, but it's certainly a keep. Turn 1 Fox is excellent. You don't usually mulligan those. I want to play it this time. I don't want to cycle it, that's for sure. Alright, so now we're going crazy. If a kill spell here, oh, not a kill spell? It's going to be tough. Tough spot for the opponent now. Nope, I want to cycle. Cycle. Still think I'm supposed to play this one. Definitely wanted to leave a blue mana. In case I drew Mystical Dispute. You know, that one. It's alright. Tough spot for the opponent here. Elspeth's Nightmare is one of their best turn 3 plays, and it doesn't kill anything. Which is kind of what I was doing when I was boarding out the other stuff. Oh, Treacherous Blessing is a tough way to do it. Tell you what. So opponent's taking 9 right now. Actually, could cycle, but it doesn't really get me very far. I'd rather pass with Dispute up. Opponent is dead on board. Unless they have like a sweeper. They kind of need a lot here. And they're just done. Alright. Cycling looking pretty strong. Alright, I got one more for you. We're going to play one more game. Let's get the battling going. On the draw. Got a lot of mana. Good colors. But no payoff. I think we can keep this. There's a high risk of flood here, and I would like to draw a turn 1 play. We didn't. It's okay. I'm going to play the Plains, and we're going to get to immediately cycling. This is a kill him with Zenith Flare kind of game. Ooh, against Black-Red, too. They just do not beat Zenith Flare. Okay. Fox ain't bad. Interesting spot on what I'm supposed to discard here. I want to just pitch the Triome. Yeah, I think we'll get rid of the Triome. Ooh, Valiant Rescuer is excellent. Yeah. It's probably supposed to cycle main phase to turn off Heartless Act. Now the problem is when I go to cycle end of turn. Okay, well. Either way, it's not great. Good news about that one is that I didn't waste the cycle now. I get to save these for this. My opponent probably has a way to kill this. Good news for me is this deck is pretty soft to Zenith Flare. In fact, they're also very bad against Riel. So if we could draw Riel, that'd be excellent. Zenith Flare 2, not bad. Okay, I also don't hate Valiant Rescuer. I am just going to play it. They'll probably kill it, but that's actually fine with me. We're just powering up these Zenith Flares. Don't think I'm going to need double red. I think I'm just going to play this on blue in case I draw Boon of the Wishgiver, which would be an excellent draw. I don't even think I've cycled any of those. No, just Frost Veils. They're Bone Crushing my 1/1. You got it. Opponent had all of the Bone Crushers. Would have been really nice to have a Riel here where they have 15 Bone Crushers and I had the 0-3 that just wins the game. We didn't, of course, but it would have been nice. I do think I'm supposed to Zenith Flare them. Okay. So kind of flooding out here. Kind of nothing going. Be a very bad turn to get Cruxud, but opponent can't really do that. Alright. Let's make some angels. I was gonna say, I am dead to 2 removal spells, but if I get to trade, this is fine with me. Does get them somewhat close to Cruxud. They still probably need to do like a setup turn. And where we're at, I think I have 11 cards with cycling in my graveyard. Or not 11. 8. So if I like cycle a couple times and then hit a Zenith Flare next turn, I'm going to win. Should be pretty nice. Good old post-combat Robber the Rich. Interesting. Royal Eruption me. Okay. So, I was at 11. I have 8 cycling cards in my graveyard. I am in exactly a spot where if I cycle 3 cards and draw a Zenith Flare, I win. Let's roll the dice. That ain't it. Does that make me want to change my play at all? Because this could protect me. We have seen Royal Eruption, though. Another Cruxa kind of kills me. This is a tough spot. I think, given I drew this, I'm better trying to make a board presence and block for 1 additional turn. That's tough. Oh my god. I didn't even get to draw the thing. I forgot I had already cycled one. Ah, no! Just left myself dead on board. That's the actual worst. I really wish... I guess we'll... I don't even get to see. I really wish I could draw a card! Come on, man! I want to know if I would have hit. That's tough. It's a tough spot. I deviated from my plan. Probably shouldn't have. Realistically, I probably shouldn't have. That hurts. Do I want like Thunder Rebuke? We saw a lot of stuff where it's actually gonna be kind of good. I don't hate Ox either. Ox seems okay. Iron Crag seems a little loose, but it also actually doesn't seem that bad. It seems like it's going to be kind of a grindy matchup. I'm going to bring in the Oxes, and I think Dragon Stinger is going to be very bad. I'm going to cut it. I kind of want to cut Flourishing Fox too, honestly, and bring in some Negates or Rebukes. I think we're just going to go this way on the play. We'll see what happens. Man. The reason I didn't cycle the Valiant Rescuer is he cost 2, so I would have had to hit a land under one of them. I don't know. Tough spot, I think. Alright. Well, it is what it is. Start with a Fox. They can't necessarily kill this on turn 1 very easily. They might have Bloodchief's Thirst. In fact, they just do have Bloodchief's Thirst because of course they do. I'm going to get this in play. The way I win is Riel. It's been frustrating to not see that card even once. I mean, none of my hand does anything, so you can take any of them. It's all just nonsense. Took my Shatter Skull Smashing, sure. So pretty happy I boarded those Oxes in. I feel like they're going to be pretty good here. Reeve Soul? I have no idea what's happening. This is wild. Okay, there's a Riel. I don't want to run Riel out. Just going to wait. It's actually really nice to get Riel out on 5 Scourge of the Skyclaves? I have no idea what's happening. That is wild. Zenith Flare makes that card look very, very bad. I guess that's... no. If you're playing Scourge, this should be like the two thing that destroys an enchantment. I don't know. It's a sweet card, but... I don't think the right choice for that spot. Alright, well, if opponent can't kill Riel here, they're in a lot of trouble. Ooh, they took my land. That was the card I cared about the least. I guess if they kill Riel, that was the one I would have wanted the most, but if they don't kill Riel, I really can't see them winning, and they only have 2 cards left in hand. Certainly not blocking. Another Scourge. Okay. Interesting. They probably should have taken this card out of my hand if we're being honest. Oh, man. Zenith Flare is really good against these guys. This is gonna... I almost feel bad. I mean, I don't, but like, holy cow. So I'm going to feel bad. I'll put it that way. Wait, if I get Ember Cleaved here, that'd be really savage. Does it kill me? No, it doesn't kill me, right? It just is really savage. I take like 11 or something. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm really, really sorry. This is brutal. Well, they got the Valiant Rescuer. It's out. Alright, no Valiant Rescuing. Oh, let's start with the Frostveil Ambush. Yep. I mean... it's almost like... I kind of wish I just kept the game going because I would have got to kill these. The Zenith Flare actually just kills them, so it doesn't really matter, but... they died! They fell off the table. That was brutal. Do I want, like, Thundering Rebuke or any of this? Dragon Stinger strikes me as kind of bad. I don't really think I want any of this. I think I'm just going to play. I could see some Thundering Rebukes on the draw. I could get by that. On the draw, a little slow. It's a good hand, though. I think I'm going to keep. Like I said, pretty likely to find a land on the draw. We got a lot of cyclers to help find one. It's annoying that the one land is tapped. That maybe should have been a reason to mulligan. But I think we'll be okay. All right, that's a great draw. So... do I want white or red? I guess I have a double red spell and no double white, so I'm going to play it as red. And get this fox going. Alright, shock's pretty annoying there. I am going to cycle one of these. Like, I could have done a response. It just doesn't save my thing. I am going to cycle one, though, because I would like to make sure I hit my 3rd land drop here. Okay. All good. I think we are discarding this Footfall Crater. Opponent is on the Mono Temple of Malice plan. Actually pretty happy to draw a land here. This feels like a get up to the Ox sort of hand. Ooh, goodbye Ox. We knew thee well. Well, we didn't, but still. You did good work. Goodbye. Or you would have done good work if we had ever cast you. They took the Zenith Flare? What? Why? They have to have another one, right? That's the only thing that makes any sense. Okay. They're not even that close to Cruxa. Alright, I don't know what's going on here. Let's start by cycling. We drew a Riel. This is... Riel into Ox is really absurd. I am not gonna lie. This is really gross. Instead of Ox discarding your hand, it's just a draw 5. Oh my goodness. Casual 5-mana 4/2 draw 5 with escape, just for good measure. Why not? Why not also have escape? Don't kill it. No! Why? Why gotta be like that, opponent? Ooh, that's actually a really good draw. I don't really want to discard that one. So it's among the more awkward draws. Still probably supposed to get the Ox in play, though, for being honest with ourselves. Are they gonna, shock my Ox? Don't shock the Ox. Or, yeah. Ooh, Shatter Skull smash my Ox. Okay. Let's see what's up. Alright, we're gonna cycle a little bit here. Oh. Hello, Riel. So again, we've already had the discard my first time each turn, so Riel wouldn't have drawn if I had cycled there. So saving it for this turn where I can actually get the nice draw 2 off. Alright. I like this interaction. Check this out. Oh no, I have to discard a card? Oh man, I don't want to have to oh wait, I draw a card? Okay. Little fox. Take a fox, man. That's a Boon of the Wish Giver. You'll love to see it. I already can double blue. Do I need more red? I already have a ton of white, so I definitely don't need white. Given I already have double blue, I think I'm supposed to go red here. Alright, we are now killing Riel. Makes sense. I'm going to get the little bit of value out of this first, though. That is a gigantic Zenith Flare. Definitely not blocking. Zenith Flare's for 11 right now, so they need to kill the fox or they're dead. It's I'm so sorry, opponent. Well, they died anyway. Didn't really matter. I don't know. I don't think I'm playing around anything. I'm just gonna flare him. It died again. Oh. Not trying to make fun of the opponent's deck. It's just so funny. Like, Scourge of the Skyclave is a great card. It's very powerful and modern. I just love being able to kill it with life gain. It's just one of my favorite things about that card. Well-designed card, by the way. That is a really sweet card. Alright, so that's all we got for today. I think that was a pretty impressive showing for the deck. I think, again, it's doing what we want to do in that it is beating up on a lot of the stuff we play against. And, yeah, it looked like the Gruul matchup was pretty bad, but I don't think that there's a very much Gruul going around, and also I don't think that it's that hard to change the sideboard in such a way where that matchup gets a little better. I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet. I'm still just getting my feet wet with this archetype, but this deck feels really good. I feel like I'm just beating everything with it right now. Very happy. Again, very happy with it. Let's go back for the deck tech view. It feels really strong. There's certainly some tuning to be done. I felt like the mana base was pretty good for the most part. I liked the 3 Amaria's calls. As you saw, we cast it multiple times. In fact, I think we cast like 3 or 4 of these. So just like having something to do when you're flooding out is pretty nice. Boon of the Wishgiver overperformed. Footfall Crater was mostly bad. I do kind of think, like, it's cute that you can give a creature trample and haste, so like you can Footfall Crater a land and make Riel just destroy somebody. Like you can make your Riel attack for like 15 or whatever. But I kind of think that the Footfall Crater should just be memory leaks. We'll have to see. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case though, so maybe we should have some memory leaks. I don't know. We'll test it out. But yeah, I mean the rest of the package felt really good. Draenei Stinger didn't really feel all that good. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Draenei Stinger should just be Improbable Alliance, and we should work on getting like a little bit more blue into the mana base. Stinger's just not a very powerful card, and Improbable Alliance was often very good, and it would give us more slots. Stinger has the benefit of actually being, a card that has cycling, whereas Improbable Alliance doesn't. But like honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if I'm supposed to have a 2/2 split here, something like that. We'll have to check it out. The burn. This hasn't felt that relevant, and there was never really a game where that was good, but this card was often great. This card didn't look good, but it was pretty good. It's just like, puts your opponent to the test very quickly. It gets out of range of a lot of the removal spells very quickly. And Riel was excellent, so happy with that. But remember, if you like the content we're making here, please subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. It really helps me keep making these videos. And if you want to see anything in standard, leave a comment, request a deck. I'm happy to play them. And with that, we'll talk to you next time.
I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian DeMars.
Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Ari Lax.